Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the Urban Entrepreneur Show. I'm Anna Banks, your host, and today we have a truly inspiring episode titled Beyond the Comfort Zone. Ooh. Conquering Life's Mount Everest. And joining us is Alejandro Tornato, and he is the founder and the CEO of Tornato Speaking. Now, no, Tornato Speaking Leadership and Coaching LLC. Now, Alejandro started his career as a chemical engineer and traveling all across the South America, and I know probably other parts of the world. Before he discovered his passion for leadership and coaching. So today he's going to share some insights on the transformative power of stepping out of your comfort zone. And that surely is something that all urban entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs in general need to do in order to grow and to scale their business. But before I bring him on, I just want to share a little bit more about Alejandro. Now, again, as I mentioned, that he is the founder and CEO of Tornado Speaking Leadership and Coaching LLC, and he has carved out a niche for himself as the inspirational figure in the leadership space. Now, he's recognized as one of the, get this, 50 most influential heart-centered leaders in 2022. And he has had a profound ability to connect with diverse audiences and empower them toward personal and professional excellence. And so, with that, I just want to say welcome to the Urban Entrepreneur Show, Alejandro, and we're just so delighted that you're going to be here with us today.
Well, Anna, thank you so very much for that kind introduction. It is, I mean, from the very first moment that we connected, I knew that there was some synchronicity, there was chemistry. I mean, with the show, and definitely, it's always my pleasure. I mean, to share some tidbits of personal development, professional development, leadership, because as I always say, there is currently, I mean, in the world, I mean, there is a tremendous lack of real solid leadership. And
Yes.
so every bit that we can learn and every bit that we can share with others, it's a good thing.
You are absolutely right. But one of the things that you mentioned is this metaphorical Mount Everest. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I mean, I have put a presentation
Mm-hmm.
on climbing the Mount Everest of your life, because if 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 we do an illustration, I mean, you can climb Mount Everest, and climbing Mount Everest is not an easy task to do. By no stretch of the imagination you can just get out of bed on your pajamas and say, "Oh, I'm going to go and climb Mount Everest." That's
I,
a no.
Not at all. Not at all. I don't think, I know that that wouldn't cross my mind,
No,
especially first
yeah,
thing
I mean,
after I get out of bed.
that's right. It wouldn't cross my mind either. And so, climbing Mount Everest is a challenging endeavor, to
Yeah.
say the least. And so, living life as a whole is a challenging project. I
Yes.
mean, we are not here, and life if you have lived, and if anybody who is listening to us right now, if you have lived a few years, you already discovered that life is not sailing smooth waters all the time. Okay. And so life brings a lot of challenges. I mean, it's a project, it's a life project that involves a lot of challenging and a lot of challenges. And so that's why living life is definitely very similar to climbing Mount Everest. And so in order to have a successful journey up the mountain, we have to be prepared. And
Yes.
and so many people are not prepared. So many people, they just live life. Um, I said many times, Anna, there are two kinds of people. There are people
Mhm.
who live life by default, and when you do that, you just let life bring you whatever it is that life throws at you. And then
Yeah.
you're unprepared and you really don't know how to handle things. But then the other group of people, they live life not by default, but by design. And
Yeah.
they, day by day by day, they design their own lives. And when you do that, then that involves preparation, that involves discipline, that involves leadership, self leadership. It involves several elements that if you bring them into your life, then you will be able to climb your Mount Everest successfully.
I love that. And, so, when I introduced you at the top of the hour, one of the things that I mentioned was that you were a chemical engineer. So tell me, what kind of Mount Everest experience was it for you transitioning from being a chemical engineer to founding Tornado Speaking Leadership and Coaching LLC?
Well, definitely, it was something. It didn't happen in a day or in a week.
Mhm.
I mean, it took a pretty long time because first of all, I was not sure of making the change. I mean,
Yes.
I was working in engineering, and this is the story that I would imagine every single or the majority of entrepreneurs go through
Hmm.
is is conquering. Is not so much the physical aspect of making a change. A physical making a change is relatively easy once you conquered the limitations in your mind.
Oh,
that
so
is
true.
Yes, that is the real challenge and the real Mount Everest that you have to climb. It's not, well, I mean, you've been working in an office and now perhaps you're working from home, and then you have to start learning and being disciplined with the time, because when you work for a boss, um, the boss tells you, well, you're going to be working from this hour till this hour. And so, this
Yeah.
number of hours, you're going to be there, you're going to be sitting, you're going to be meeting with customers, you're going to be doing all the activities that you do as an engineer. Okay.
Mhm.
And that's fine and dandy. Now, when you make the transition to working not for a boss, because you're changing bosses, now you are your own boss.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
if you are, yes, if you're not disciplined, if you cannot lead yourself, then that's when the storm, the hurricane breaks out, because then you don't know, and perhaps working from home. you start being distracted by all kinds of things, and then you are not focused, and you don't do the things that you need to be doing, and you are chasing shiny objects here and there and everywhere. And so instead of climbing the Mount Everest with a focus, with determination, then you begin to go on this pathway, on that pathway. I mean, you look at this little mountain here and says, "Oh, this is pretty. I mean, let me go and take a look and see what I can find here." And you leave the main project, the main thing by the wayside, and then you don't make any progress, and you start feeling that you are lagging behind, and you start comparing with others, and a lot of things happened. So that was, to me, that was the main transition, is conquering what's in between your two ears here. And once
Wow.
you do that, then you start moving forward in whatever it is that you want to accomplish.
You are so right. And just so that you know, we do sometimes get questions that come in from the social media platforms that we're streaming to. And one of the questions that just came in, if you don't mind answering, is
Oh no,
so
sure.
what inspired you to make such a shift? Like, you already told us
Oh,
about what it cost, like the things that you had to do was to conquer the space between your ears. But what was it that inspired you to make that shift?
oh, that's. I mean, that's a great question. Well, I mean, as a chemical engineer, one of my tasks among many was to travel and to go and attend trade shows. I mean, meeting with
Hmm.
customers, and then give a lot of very technical presentations. And so when I started doing that, then there was a little flame inside of me. I mean, there was a little flame that was burning inside of me. And every time that I was standing in front of a group, I mean, sharing and giving a presentation and connecting with people and answering questions and so forth, suddenly I thought I saw myself, wow, I'm just walking on clouds in here. This is absolutely, I mean, this is absolutely fantastic. I found, literally, and for the person who asked the question, I'm going to say, I found my strength, not my comfort zone, okay,
Hmm.
but I found my strength zone, my strength zone. And
Wow.
once you find your strength zone, that that place where once you are there, your whole body, inside and out, begins to tingle and begins to vibrate with excitement. That's the place that God wants you to be, because that is your strength zone, and that is the place where you can make the most impact in life, in other people's lives, and you can definitely do, I truly believe, what you have been created to be and to do. And and that happened to me. But I'm not unique. I mean, it can happen to you. It can happen to anybody. It's sometimes, I mean, we spend many years doing something that we have to do, but we are not really passionate about doing.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
and and and, and that really um, forces you or guides you into saying, am I going to spend the rest of my life
Mm-hmm.
in this, under these situations, under these limitations, or am I going to open the cage and then get out and begin flying in the area that you are really passionate and that you think that you have been born to do. And like I said, and I said it before many times, then are leaders made, are speakers made, or born? And no, I mean, you may have a desire, a really
Mm-hmm.
burning desire to do it, but then you have to begin the journey of uh, learning, practicing, improving, getting better and
Yes.
better every single time. But you're going to see that if you are doing all that within the confines of your strength zone, that's a game changer. That is truly a game changer.
Well, I tell you, I think that, just what you just talked about with the strength zone versus the comfort zone, really, I know it definitely resonated for me because one of the things that I love doing is talking to people. In fact, when I was a little girl, my father used to say, "Girl, if you could make money just by talking, you'll be a millionaire." So I don't know if he was prophesying or what. But it definitely is something that I definitely enjoy. Um,
Yeah,
so when we think about strength zone and comfort zone,
yeah.
let's take a look at what is the power of getting out of one's comfort zone. And can you share a specific instance when you stepped out of your comfort zone that led that you're stepping out, I should say, of a comfort zone led to some kind of breakthrough, either in your personal or your professional life?
Yes, definitely. I mean, and you said it. There is definitely power in getting out of your comfort zone. I said it many times. Um, Nothing happens in the comfort zone.
Mm,
Nothing. If you want to make a change, if you want to um, get better at it, if you want to um, help other people, um, you better get out of the comfort zone, because within the comfort zone nothing happens. I mean, everything is very stagnant. I mean, you are in a place of complete stagnation.
mm,
And as a chemical engineer, I went to it wasn't a lake, but well, I mean, it was a reservoir of water.
mm-hmm,
And Anna, um, when you are next to a river, a flowing river, you can see water that is very crystalline, water that is clean, water that you can even drink. But and you can see everywhere around that flowing river there is a lush and very green and flourishing vegetation. Okay,
mm-hmm,
a
mm-hmm.
flowing river brings life. Um, if you have ever been into a reservoir that is where the water is stagnant, where there's no flow of water, I mean, water is there, that water begins to deteriorate, begins to stink, begins
Yes.
to smell. There is no life. The fish die there because of the lack of oxygen in the water. The vegetation begins to I mean, die as well. I mean, so a stagnant body of water is a symbol for death. not for life, but for death. So
Mm.
the comfort zone is a stagnation, it's a stagnant place. And if you stay
Wow.
there long enough, you are going to intellectually, emotionally, spiritually, you are going to die in there. So there's power in getting out of the comfort zone because you are going from death to life. Okay. And so that's a very important concept. And so in my life,
That's really that's a powerful concept, Alejandro. That
yes,
really, I've never really, I mean, I've heard the river and the reservoir analogy before, but not to this degree. So you're
yeah,
really kind of warning us that if we stay in our comfort zone, we're basically committing to to die spiritually, emotionally, and maybe
yeah.
even physically. Wow.
Yeah, oh, definitely. Yes. I mean, I think that if we take it to the, I mean, to that extreme, um, you see, I mean, being in a comfort zone can bring depression. And depression, eventually, if you don't take care of it, depression can kill you. I mean, it can, or at least, I mean, it can. How many people in a state of very deep depression, I mean, have committed suicide because
Yeah.
they do not see a way out. I mean, they don't see hope.
Hmm.
When 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 you when you take hope away from any individual, and you don't see hope, I mean, then you don't see that tomorrow is worth living. You don't see that tomorrow is worth getting up and keep fighting and keep battling life. And then you said, okay, well, this is the end. I mean, I don't have any hope of anything, of any time achieving anything, of doing anything. I don't matter. When you start getting into that road that I don't matter anymore, then why am I here? You know,
Yeah.
and and that's
Yes.
and that's and that's very sad. But this is not a program, I mean, for looking into that side of the road. I mean, we
Right.
mention it because we want to be faithful into presenting this. But there is life on the outside of that comfort zone, and just get out, jump out. Um, even even if you're afraid, you know, I heard it so many times. Um, do the things that you are afraid and that you are fearful about, and you're going to see that once you conquer that, you may be fearful of getting to the summit of that Mount Everest of your life. If you have never climbed to the summit of any mountain, that is a scary journey. It's not easy. Okay? You might, so many people literally have died climbing Mount Everest because it's not easy. But you know, the best things in life are not easy things. if you
Yeah.
want to if you want to make your mark, if you want to leave a worth legacy for other people, then I encourage you, start doing the tough, the difficult things in life, because those are the ones that are going to bring you the highest rate of return and the highest rewards. Not the
Wow.
easy ones, but the difficult ones.
Yeah, you are absolutely right on that. Yeah, that's really where the growth is. So leadership. We talked a little bit about leadership and how there is a deficit of
Mhm.
of really good leaders today.
Yeah. Sure.
So, leadership often involves facing challenges and overcoming them, right?
Yeah.
So, could you describe one of the toughest challenges that you faced while building your business and the strategies? Because we're always interested in the strategies. How did you do it? That helped you to overcome it? Because this will set a roadmap for people
Mhm.
who may be in a very similar situation.
Sure. Oh, definitely. Um, well, straight off the bat, I mean, in my case at least, when I started, um, I wasn't all that good. Okay, there was a learning curve that I had to go through, and through that learning curve, one of the things that to me personally was very devastating,
Mm-hmm.
because at that time, years ago. At
Yes.
that time, I was, I guess, professionally, and in entrepreneurship, I was very immature. I mean,
Yeah.
immature, and what happens is that I was placing a lot of emphasis and a lot of importance in other people's opinions and other people's talking. And one of the most devastating things for me was to hear other people talk and say, "Wow, I mean, uh, the, why did you leave engineering? I mean, that could have been a good pathway for you. I mean, not this. I mean, really. I mean, and some people, I mean, maybe, I mean, said it, and I heard it. I mean, well, I mean, you really suck at it." And the life can be hard, and people can be disrespectful. I mean, they can talk things. I mean, just because, remember, it's not because sometimes you are doing something bad, or you are
Mm-hmm.
not good at what you're doing, but it's because other people are fearing that you are good and they are not, and so they're trying to bring you down, they're trying to diminish you, they're trying to eliminate you, they're trying to say, no, I mean, go. So by you stepping out of the way, then what happens, you are giving them the whole highway so they can keep moving forward. Okay. And so that was the I mean, that's exactly right. I mean, it's like, have you ever been in a highway where you are behind a slow moving vehicle, and so you are a little bit, and you want to get out of the way, and so some people say, just get out of the way, let me keep moving. And so that to me was a very hard challenge that I
Yeah.
had to overcome, and I have to start learning. And good that I had good mentors and good coaches, that really pointed that to me and says,
Mm-hmm.
Alejandro, um, because I always thought, I wanted to become like, a Tony Robbins, and I wanted to become like this other person, and I wanted to
Mm-hmm.
become like this other person. Look at those celebrity speakers and presenters. I mean, look at that. I mean, I would, and although it's not bad, I mean, to say, well, I want to be, and you want to emulate some other people,
Yes.
but
Yes.
one of my mentors said to me, listen, um, don't try to copy somebody else's style, because every person is unique.
Yeah.
Listen, you cannot do anything to become Tony Robbins. I mean, people who resonate with him, they are going to go and listen to him.
Mm-hmm.
But you just remember one thing, and that once I heard that, I is stuck with me for the rest of my journey. Um, you be you. Don't
Yes.
try to be somebody else. You be you, and you have your message, and you have your own way to share your message, and you be really transparent. And uh, we heard this word now hundreds of thousands of times. Be authentic.
Mhm.
Be authentic.
Absolutely.
Don't, yes,
Absolutely.
don't try to be a fake one. I mean, just no, you just be you. And people will resonate with you, with your message. They will come and see you and follow you. That's and that message was it came to me at a great time, at the right time, and I've been following that throughout anything that I do. I mean, just right now, what people say about me is not of my concern.
Hmm.
Okay, I cannot control what people speak of me. What I can control is what I do, um, uh, and how I show up every single day. That's how I can control what. And so once you take that out of the equation, you are so much free to experience what you want to do.
You are so spot on, Alejandro. You really, really are. And I think that, what you said resonates with so many of us, because if we haven't been there before, chances are, as we continue to grow our businesses, as we continue to scale, there comes
Yeah,
another level. And at that level, people are saying whatever they're saying.
yeah,
So
yeah.
we
Oh
do
yeah,
have to learn how to turn a deaf ear to that.
that's right.
Uh,
That's right.
yeah, yeah. So now, one of the things that you mentioned, I won't say it was in passing, but in as far as how you were able to overcome your challenges, you mentioned mentors. You said
Yeah.
my mentors, my coaches. So, what is the importance of mentorship, from your perspective, and how can being both a mentor, and I know that you are a mentor now, as well as a mentee, influence leadership?
Oh my goodness. Okay, that's a subject that we can be spending a long time on. But just to shorten it,
Mhm,
mentorship is crucial, is
mhm,
huge, huge, with a capital Huge, huge, gigantic, um, because when you mentor someone, and the relationship mentor mentee is one of the most beautiful and critical relationships that you can have,
yes.
apart from, maybe, I mean, being a husband and wife. and
Mhm,
and I mean, being a husband and wife, I mean, you are a mentor to each other.
yes,
That's a mentoring relationship.
that's true.
And
Good, bad, or indifferent.
that's right. That's right. But having a mentor is having someone who is cheering for you.
Mm,
Having a mentor is someone who is looking at you and looking at what you want to accomplish, and saying, listen, um, based on my experience, why don't you try this? Why don't you do this? Why don't you go this pathway, or try? And so a mentor is someone who can prevent you from big falls, um, even though sometimes, um, it's necessary to fall in order to learn how not to do things in a particular way. And the
yes,
only way that you're going to learn that we are the only way that we as human beings, we are going to learn how to avoid certain paths and go on others, is by actually making a mess. Okay, and once you make a mess, I mean, how? Um, I don't know. I mean, because I've never been a chef or a cook, but how does a chef improve things? Well, trying things out, and
That's right.
sometimes it's fine and tasty, and sometimes is bad, and wow, don't even eat it because
Well,
it's
you don't even
but
want to look at it.
that's right. But but but, but the only way to do it is actually doing it and trying it. You see, life, in my opinion, life, and some people agree with me, some others don't. Life is a chemistry laboratory. I mean,
Mm,
I mean, you just try things out. I mean, well, how is that going to work? Well, do it and you'll find out how is it going to
hmm.
be. I mean, um, and that's why we have to take initiative, and that's why we have to be um, uh, a risk controlled kind of person. I
Hmm.
mean, I know that there are people who take risk, and they're very risky, and they take huge risks, and that's it. But if you have never taken huge risk, start with little ones. I mean,
Yes.
just
Yes.
do something and see what the results are, and then keep doing that and keep increasing the level of risk that you are prepared to take. And because if we don't try things, you never know. If It's better to say, Anna, it's better to say, I tried it and it didn't work, and I know that it didn't work, so I can change, as opposed to say, I never tried it, and then go to your deathbed thinking, what could
I
have
wish.
happened if I had tried that? So while you are strong, while you have the mental acuity and the strength and the vitality and the energy, try all things that you can. Try it, do it, and see. Some of the things will stick, and they'll work, and some others they don't. But at
Right.
least once you get to those years, that then you'll say, my goodness, I tried it, and I don't have any regrets because I
Yeah.
tried everything as much as you possibly. Live life to the fullest. um, I'm going to say something, and pay attention to this. When I say live life to the fullest, die empty,
Yes.
because you cannot take anything with you. So leave everything here while you are here. So leave it fully, die empty. Don't take anything with you.
Yes.
Take advantage of doing it right now.
Oh, I love that. I absolutely love that. Um, you've given a couple of really poignant points that will stick with me. That whole thing about the reservoir and the river has taken on a whole different dimension. And and I appreciate that, because one of the great things about producing and hosting this show is that I also have the opportunity of learning. I don't try to know everything, but I love being able to learn from other people who have different specialties. We can almost be in the same business, the same field, but you do things slightly differently than I may do them, or you may say them differently than I do them. And as a result of there, I learned something, or another
Okay.
dimension opens up. Yes.
Yes, and that's the beauty of it, because we can be in the same field, but we come to it from a different perspective, in different
Absolutely.
angles, and that's I mean, we sharpen one another. We get better by interacting with other people, because you may come with your ideas, and
Mhm.
someone else may say something and says, wow, I have never thought of that.
That's right. Well,
You know.
I've
Yeah.
said that a couple of times tonight,
Well,
and
you
so I
know,
appreciate that.
I I um I remember one of my mentors. I mean, once said, um, "Remember one thing, Alejandro. Um, uh, if you want to really get better and improve, just meet new people. Perhaps
Mhm.
attend conferences. I mean, go, because you never know the value of a single idea.
Oh,
Is not the value of 50, 100, 1,000 ideas. No, 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 no. Is the value of just one, a single idea. And that can revolutionize and can change drastically the course of your life. And that's, I mean, and we have to be very attentive when we talk to people, when we interact with people, when we do these shows, when we have guests, when we are a guest on other shows. What is being spoken, what is being talked about, because be careful, because one idea can really change the course of your life.
yes, it surely can. Um, well, our time is almost up, but I have one more question that I'm just dying to ask you, because it is about qualities. It's about qualities of entrepreneurs, the things that you feel, like from your perspective, that they need to do, to lead successfully in today's
Mhm.
fast-paced, ever evolving landscape. I mean, everything is
Yeah,
changing. AI has just changed the trajectory of everything over the past 2 years. So, what
yeah.
are some of the qualities that entrepreneurs need in order to lead successfully today?
Oh my goodness, what a great question. Well, one I think that one of the biggest qualities, I mean, that an entrepreneur or anybody
Hmm.
should have in order to have a successful journey in life is, first of all, is discipline. I mean, have being a person of discipline. Okay.
Hmm.
If you're not disciplined, then you're going to be all over the place. I mean, have an objective for your life. Have a plan. But maintain the objective. Once you select what is your objective, that objective is unchangeable, that is
Mm.
unmovable. Okay.
Mhm.
However,
Mhm.
once you design a plan to achieve that objective, the plan can change. You can
Mhm.
modify the plan, because sometimes you design a plan to go this way, and then you find an obstacle, and then you have to change the plan, and you have to get never change the objective. Don't say, oh my goodness, that objective is too big, I'm going to make it smaller.
Yeah.
No, no,
No.
don't make it smaller. The objective stays the same. What you change is the plan accordingly. Okay.
Yeah.
But in order
Yeah.
to do that, you have to be disciplined. Discipline, discipline, discipline. Don't be like the person that says, i'm going to I'm going to start going to the gym every single day, at 5 o'clock in the morning. Woo, go. And then the next morning, it's a little bit cold, and you are in between the sheets, and you said, oh, I'm gonna stay today, I'm gonna stay in. Okay, I'm not gonna
Mhm.
go.
I'll go
No,
tomorrow.
I'll go tomorrow. That's right. No, a disciplined person thinks it's cold, I'm going to the gym. It's snowing, I'm going to the gym. It's burning hot, I'm going to the gym. It doesn't matter what's out there. It's what's in here that
Mm,
matters. Discipline, discipline. I have never seen someone who achieved a certain level of success who was completely undisciplined. You
right.
have to be disciplined. That's a primary. Then the other thing is living in a world that we are living right now. Do not give in to the what I call the shiny object syndrome. I mean, don't start following shiny things here, shiny things there. Be focused on what you want to do. Eliminate as much as you possibly can all the outside or inside distractions that
Mm,
can take you off course. You
yes.
know, the once you get on a plane and the plane goes to from A to B, in between the plane just goes off course a little bit, but there's the computers and everything inside. It brings the plane back on course. I mean, sometimes you get winds and it takes the plane,
Yes.
but eventually the plane arrives at the destination. I mean, if you're going from New York to London, the plane gets off course, but eventually lands in London. It doesn't land in Sydney, Australia. Okay,
No.
it
No.
goes. If it goes to London, it goes to London. So have have that. I mean, don't be distracted. I mean, just be focused. Be mindful of what you're doing. So discipline, eliminate distractions. Um, Another thing that entrepreneurs and everyone should be very attentive is be careful the people that you surround yourself with, because people, the wrong kind of people, can take you um, to places that you don't want to go.
That's
The
right.
wrong kind of people, it can squelch your determination, I mean, your discipline. The wrong kind of people can take you completely off course.
Yes.
So select a group of people. It doesn't matter if it's small. I mean, perhaps the smaller the better. I mean, that's your inner circle. But surround yourself with people who can cheer for you, who can be behind you, who can help you think better, who can create ideas with you, who you can trust.
Yes.
um, I mean, those kinds of people are the ones they're going to help you launch into higher and higher grounds. So don't hang around with vampires who suck
Mm,
your blood. I mean, hang out with people who really you can truly trust, and there's a level of trust between you and them. Okay, and
well,
and
that
and
is,
those, and those are three of the top ones. I mean, there are so many others, but
I,
those.
yes, I really appreciate that. I love that. And that's a perfect way to end our show tonight. Those are three takeaways that I think that every entrepreneur and, as you said, person could
Mhm,
really focus in on, and kind of like something that they can hang their hat on. Be disciplined,
yeah,
be focused. In other
yeah,
words, get rid of the shiny objects, and then
true.
surround yourself with people who are going to be for you rather than against you. That's just the way that I'm just rephrasing it.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
thank you so much, Alejandro. I just want to let people know where they can get in touch with you, because so could you share that so that our um, our listening and viewing audience will know, how can they get in touch with Alejandro Tornato?
Well, I mean, they can look me up on Facebook, and I think that, I mean, that you, I mean,
Oh, I got
yes, I mean, they, okay, on Facebook, there it is, and also on LinkedIn. I mean, if you are on both platforms, I mean, either one, you can definitely connect. I mean, send me a direct message, and I will respond to you. I mean, if you have any questions, I mean, if you have a group, or whether, I mean, whether in church, or whether a group in your place of business, and you want someone to come and share some ideas on leadership, on how to be a better leader, how to lead groups. If you want someone, I mean, to inspire your group of people, I mean, to motivate them, to take them to the next level. If you want someone, I mean, to speak about how to communicate better, how to connect with people in a more effective way, well, I am your guy. So connect with me, let me know, and I'll be more than happy, I mean, to help you in any way I possibly can.
Well, I want to thank you. Thank you so much for extending yourself like that, Alejandro. I really appreciate the time that we've spent here
Sure.
today. And so, my friends, as we wrap up this exciting episode of the Urban Entrepreneur Show, again, I want to give my special thanks to our guest, Alejandro Tornado, for being with us today,
Yeah.
talking to us about how we can go beyond our comfort zone and conquer life's Mount Everest. And so today's show was brought to you by our sponsor, Thrive Leadership Institute, your go to source for coaching, training, and resources that will supercharge your personal and your professional growth. But if you are an entrepreneur and you have an amazing story to share, consider joining us as a guest on the Urban Entrepreneur Show, because we're really all about sharing wisdom and experiences that inspire. So don't hesitate to reach out to us. How you can get in touch with us is by going to theurbanentrepreneurshow.com. And so until the next time, I just want to thank again my guest, Alejandro Tornado, and each of you, our listening and our viewing audience. So thank you again, and we will see you on the next episode. Bye bye for now.
Thank you. Thank you, Anna. Bye bye.